Hi people, how you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here and I'm back again with another video. Okay, so let's check out what we're getting into today. Um so this says, would woke students date a trans woman? A trans woman. A trans woman. Okay, let's get into this today.
Hi, we're in London and we're asking men whether they would date a trans woman or not. Would you date a trans woman?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
They're women, aren't they? Yeah.
So you're saying you would
Yes.
because that, sorry if I've heard you right, that person identifies as female.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty open to date anyone, but trans women are women, so I don't see any reason why not.
So that's, I guess that's the important thing that the audience wants to know about sort of anything controversial with regards to where we're at in society, is that the majority of people say trans women, i.e. born biological men, which everyone agrees on, trans women are therefore women.
Yes.
And why is that? What makes them a woman if they're born biologically male?
They identify as a woman, you know, for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter, because if they think that, if they say that they're a woman and identify as a woman, then they are a woman. So
Sorry, I understand. So it's a feeling thing, it's a personality thing, it's an identity.
It's who you are.
Biology isn't. So if I've got it right, biology doesn't matter.
No, biology doesn't dictate who you are. No.
Okay, fine. So you would, regardless of orientation, you would date a trans woman because you see them as a man or as a woman, but because you would be open to dating a woman. Okay, I have to get my rhetoric right. You would be open to dating a woman in general.
Yes.
And you see a trans woman as a woman.
Yes.
And that's based on the fact that they identify and feel like that, and it's not to do with biology and certainly not to do with surgery. You wouldn't be influenced whether they had surgery or not.
No. It wouldn't change my mind. No.
Okay. Would you date a trans woman?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I mean, I don't think that's part of what I want to do. I think I'm just kind of like, just neutral about it and just go with my own.
Could you speak up a tiny bit?
With my opposite gender, that's about it. I think that's as far as I go.
So the way that I describe a trans woman is as a biological male.
Yeah.
So if I was to be asked that question, I would say no. And I would say no for lots of reasons. One of them is that I'm not gay. Would you date a trans woman?
Yeah.
Why?
Because although they were biologically born as a male, they're still a woman because they feel like a woman. So even if they change their bodies biologically, that's how they feel. So if someone's into women, they should accept dating trans women as well. I know it can be sometimes a little bit challenging, but I think it should be something that should be more normalized. And I think it doesn't mean that you're part of like any community, and I don't think it challenges your sexuality. And I think that's why some people think it's not okay for them.
So I think two very important points. It wouldn't be homosexuality for a biological male to date a transgender woman.
I don't think so.
And second of all, I think one of your points was kind of around normalising it and not looking at it as stereotypical or as controversial, etc. You wouldn't have an issue with a biological heterosexual male saying no, I wouldn't. You've said you would, but you wouldn't have an issue with a heterosexual male saying no because that's a biological male.
I would respect their opinion because I know it can be a little bit difficult for some people, but I think people have to be educated more that trans women are still women, even though if they're biologically born as a male.
So just one last point. You've mentioned a couple of times about the education piece, potentially for heterosexual males, that a trans woman is someone born a biological male is someone who identifies as a woman, and then therefore as a result of that identity that makes them a woman.
Yeah.
Are you able to explain that or justify that?
Well,
other than of course they feel it.
Well, I mean, it's just you're born. Sometimes your biological body does not define who you truly are. So when people transition to the other gender, it's not like they want to change their gender. They're changing to become who they truly feel. So that's why I don't think when a heterosexual man dates a trans woman, it doesn't mean that they're homosexual or anything, because at the end of the day, that woman is still a woman.
Does it matter whether they've had surgery or not? So would you date a trans woman regardless of whether they've had surgery or not? Is surgery a factor at all? Because we've spoken very much about identity and personality.
Well, I personally haven't had that experience, and I don't.
But would you then?
I truly don't know. I guess sometimes that's honestly a challenging one.
Yeah, if no surgery had happened, because obviously surgery often happens,
Yeah.
but with a trans woman, if no surgery had happened, so they're both a biological male and they've chosen to not have surgery as well.
Well, one thing is choosing not to, and another thing is not being able to because they can't afford it.
Sure.
I think most, if not all, trans women, if they were able to transition, they would. But some people can't, and I think it's just.
But if they
you
hadn't,
have to be.
would that change
If
your
they
opinion?
hadn't.
Well, I'm not going to presume anyone's sexuality here. Anyone we speak to today. So if they hadn't, would you still stand by that you would
Yeah,
date a
because at the end
trans?
of the day, they're still a woman.
Because they're still a woman.
Yeah, it would be maybe a little bit more difficult, but you know, if you really love that person, you would see them for who they truly are, and not
Understood.
just their biological self.
That's great. Would you date a trans woman?
I personally wouldn't,
Why not?
because it just goes against my beliefs, and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
When you say beliefs, do you mean core values or do you mean religion?
Religion and core values, I guess. Of course, like everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and their own preferences. That's just my preference,
And obviously, we're hearing a mixed bag. There's two answers you've given that we normally hear. That's one of them, i.e., it goes against my beliefs or it goes against my preferences. Sometimes religion's involved. If you would unpack that for us, so you've answered similarly to how I would respond if I was asked the question, because I'm heterosexual, so I wouldn't date a biological male because I'm heterosexual. Would you expand on why you wouldn't date a trans woman, so a biological male?
I wouldn't date. Well, firstly, dating is not actually something I would do. I'd go straight into marriage rather.
Sure. Let me rephrase then. Would you marry a trans woman?
Would I marry a trans woman? No.
Why?
I wouldn't do that because in my beliefs and my core values, like sexual relations are supposed to be between men, biological men, and biological women.
Would you date a trans woman?
It depends on the emotional connection. Because I don't know if it was for just the experience. I think I need the experience to be 100% sure, but in the future aspect of having a family, which I is interested in, I would like to experience it, but I'm not sure if I would like to, build a future with that person.
Great. Would you date a trans woman?
Nah, over religious beliefs, because I've got my wife anyways, so.
Oh, okay, so I'll rephrase. If you were single,
Yeah.
if you weren't married, sorry.
Nah, not any. I ain't got anything against them. I ain't got anything. They can be free whatever they like, but for religious aspects, because my religion don't follow that, and I strictly abide by that. That's why.
So when we talk about it, so the way that I define a trans woman is a biological male.
Yeah.
So when you say you wouldn't date a trans woman, is there a reason why you wouldn't? You say it's for religious beliefs, which a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you date a trans woman?
Just for religious beliefs, to be honest. Yeah,
Anything
that's it.
specific about that? I won't
No.
presume your religion. So
Yeah.
anything specific?
No, it's not just that. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's wrong, but either way, when you're born with a gender identity, male or female, right? And when you die on your paper, it will either be female or male. At the end of the day, it's just the in-between talks that come up as like transgender, gay, bisexual. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that either.
No, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm just, even if I'm entitled, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that, but still, like, you just gotta see it in a way. That's how I see it from my own perspective. Where you die as a male or female, and you are born a male or female at the end of the day. So either way, it takes a man and a woman to procreate to make more children, more society.
You wouldn't date a biological male
No.
because
I
you are
wouldn't.
not homosexual.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not homosexual, man. That's
Sure.
why
No, I'm just deconstructing what you're saying.
yeah, I'm heterosexual, man. I'm straight.
Mm.
But other than that, no issues with transgenders. But that's my personal belief.
Sure. Thanks for that, mate.
Have a wonderful day. So.
Yeah, you too.
This is super interesting. I feel like I would love to go into the streets and just ask people this question, okay? Um so I'm not here to say this is right or this is wrong, except when you're trying to impose wrong on me, okay? If you're if you're homosexual, okay. You were attracted to the same gender and opposite gender, you're just attracted to whoever you're attracted to for whatever reason. I mean, attraction, I don't believe attraction could necessarily be explained. So if you're a man and you're attracted to another man, that is your business, okay? Only you and the man know why you guys are attracted to yourselves and choose to be committed, right? If you're a woman and you're attracted to another woman, yeah, the same goes, right? And if you're a man and you're attracted to a woman, you both know why you're attracted to yourself. So I'm not going to ask no explanation for why people are attracted to who they're attracted to. Fine, no problem. But in as much as trans people are finding themselves, in as much as trans people are being who they truly are meant to be, in as much as that, I feel like most people should really check themselves. Most people who call themselves straight should really check themselves, because they're actually not straight. Because if you're gonna date a trans woman or a trans man and you're that gender, you and the person share the same biological gender, you're homosexual. And if you're denying who you are and accepting who someone else is, you are actually denying yourself. Okay? Because at the end of the day, they say, oh, biological doesn't define who we are. And of course, biology has nothing much to do about who we turn out to be in life, what kind of a person we turn out to be, what kind of an individual we are. Biology doesn't really define so much as to that. But biology tells us what we are. What is this? It's a cell phone. Okay? Doesn't mean you're going to say, oh, the cell phone and every other cell phone are going to be the same. No. They have the Android, they have the iPhone. They're all cell phones, okay? Because that's how they were designed. They were designed to be cell phones, but they do not have the same specification. So in as much as biology is telling you this is what you are, you're a human male, you're a human female, biology is not telling you, oh, you're gonna be quiet, you're all gonna be the same. No, yeah, he's right. Biology doesn't tell who you are and stuff like that. It doesn't. How would And there's something really dangerous about this, right? There's something really dangerous about like accepting, really not okay. I can understand accepting, okay, because I feel like there could be some extremists who could really not be accepting of these trans people and could get really violent. I'm not in support of that, because no matter what decision people tend to make in life, as long as they really are not hurting anyone physically, or as long as they really are not hurting anyone, they should be treated with respect. They should be treated equally, right? So I know that the extremists has already said, but there is something really dangerous about encouraging this, because if you're encouraging this, if you're saying that people can be who they wish or feel to be, and and they make other people see them that way, it could be dangerous, because you cannot make that selective. It could seem safe right now that people are identifying to be dogs, people are identifying to be women when they're like biological male and stuff. It could seem safe, but when certain people decide to identify as things that could really threat the society, imagine a grown person deciding to feel like they're 16 and go pimp up like people their age, little kids. They're gonna be pedophiles. Are we gonna put out like a selective like is it going to be selective, basically? Like, can you say, oh no, you cannot like, is this identification solely for gender? And if it is, why? I feel like there could be so much danger from this because there was a young man who was talking about education. I don't even think he has the right education for this. I don't know why. I don't know what orientation people get. I really do not know. I haven't gotten it. So I don't understand so much why it could seem like people are scared to actually speak their minds. And the guys who actually spoke their minds and said, "Oh, doesn't work for me," right? Based on religious reasons and all of that. I respect them. In as much as, they seem to be like timid saying it. I don't know what like goes on with like the whole transphobic thing. I think people are so scared of being tagged transphobic. As long as you're not harmful, as long as you're not violent, I don't think it should be something you're scared of, okay? Every individual is human. Whatever choices they make, they walk through it. It's just like saying that someone makes like bad financial choices. Like, let's say someone had like $10 and he had the choice to invest this $10 in something or to go bet. And yeah, so whatever you choose, whatever comes out of that decision is on you. So let's say this person then goes and bets the $10 and he loses the money, and then he comes to tell the world, I just felt like betting that $10 and I don't have money anymore, so give me something. Like, I feel like my analogy may be wrong, but my goodness, God help us. God help us. I mean, if you're open to dating a trans person, you really are a homosexual. And I don't think that's something people should be shy about. Or speak your mind, speak your truth, live your truth, be who you are. Trans people are being who they are, and if you are gay or if you're a lesbian and then you're just hiding in your shell, nah. This guy's here, they're gay, and they say they're straight. Like, how? It doesn't correlate. But anyways, trans women, trans men are biologically men and women. And no matter what they do, that is who they are in gender wise, biologically. The way they look, those who've gone through surgery, those who just are based, living based on how they feel and the vibe. Do you guys know? I wish, I wish really though that our identity as like our gender identity is a vibe, is a feeling. Oh, I want to have blonde hairs. I want to identify like I was made to have blonde hairs, guys. Like I was made to have blonde hairs. So I'm gonna go for like surgical implants to get myself blonde hair. You guys, like let me just stop here because I feel like when it comes to like trans, it's a lot. But I want to know what y'all think about this. Honestly, even if you're a trans person and you sort of like feel offended, I apologize because that is not what I am trying to do. Okay, there is nothing. It's not even if I say, biological men, biologically trans. Like if I say trans men are biological men, it's not. I'm not being offensive. I'm just speaking facts. Like even those who have gone under surgery, I feel the doctors are going to tell you your biologist says you're a man. So yeah, so even if you're a trans person, I really would love to like know what you guys think. Like what do you think about like your transition? What do you think about your biology? What do you just think about all of this? Please do share with me down in the comment box. I'm really gonna appreciate it. But we have come to the very end of this video. Certainly was a very enlightening one, yeah, certainly very enlightening. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and on to the very next one, people. Let us keep on staying safe and healthy. So bye.